Hi Verse, it's me the Angel Man here today to give you guys another video. Hey Verse, real quickly I just wanted to say that if I sound a little off, I just got my Invisaligners. I'm having a little bit of trouble speaking here and there, so if I sound a little off, I apologize. I'm going to try to be as clear as possible because this is some news that I definitely want to talk about because it has to do with the one and only Sylvester Stallone. This guy, man, this guy is an OG. I admire Sylvester Stallone for what he's done in his career. I admire a lot of the franchises that he's been a part of, and not even just that. He's been in a lot of influential movies as well, like Rocky. Rocky obviously is one of the most iconic franchises out there. And I mean, right after that we had Creed. We're all just waiting for the third one at this point, right? Because I love Creed 1. I liked Creed 2. I didn't love it, but I liked it. That was alright. Now for Creed 3, we're all just kind of getting ready to see who's Creed's next opponent, what's going to occur. So we're just waiting for that trailer at any moment, right? But when it comes down to Sylvester Stallone, apparently some news has happened with him that has to do with the Rocky franchise. And Creed adding to that. So I'm pretty sure it was in the same franchise, of course. But basically, there has been some issues going on with the rights to Rocky. Sylvester Stallone called out a producer that he worked with, and he's frustrated because he wants to have some of the rights to his franchise that he built back to him and for him to give to his children. Well, with that said, though, Verse, let's get to it. Okay, there you go. Alright Verse, so here I am on vulture.com. I found an article talking about the situation with Sylvester Stallone wanting the rights back from this producer. A lot has been said. Sylvester Stallone has even been posting Instagram posts, and they have them here too. So basically I'm going to read you guys the article and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts as always. So here we go. Sylvester Stallone wants the Rocky rights back from parasitical producer. Okay. Sylvester Stallone called and he wants his rights back. In multiple Instagram posts, the writer and the star of Rocky films called the franchise producer Irwin Winkler parasitical. Oh. And one of the worst inhuman beings I've ever met in the movie industry. Once again, asking Winkler to give him the rights to the films. The first post slammed Winkler's painfully untalented son David. Oh, whoa, he took shots. Who wrote the arrangement. Sylvester names it the worst book, likening the novel to absorbent toilet paper. Damn. If he's taking shot at someone else's kid, alright. Stallone goes on to claim that remarkably untalented Winkler blocked 3 additional Rocky movies? What do you mean he blocked them? I don't understand. Like, what does that mean? A follow-up post depicts the producer as a snake with a human head with a knife coming out of his mouth. A very flattering portrait of the great Rocky Creed producer Irwin Winkler. I'm speaking out loud because clearly that's what he's saying if he's gonna put all that in caps. So if I start going up and down, just work with me here, okay? From one of the country's greatest artists, the caption begins, also, after Irwin controlling Rocky for over 47 years, and now Creed, I really would like to have at least a little of what's left of my rights back before passing it on to only your children. Yeah, Sylvester was pissed. I believe that would be a fair gesture from this 93-year-old gentleman. This is a painful subject that eats at my soul because I wanted to leave something of Rocky for my children. Sylvester posted an additional drawing of Irwin, this time as a vampire, calling him the real Rocky Horror Show. Though Stallone wrote all 3 movies and is credited for the spin-off Creed, it's never owned the copyright. The issue has long troubled Stallone, who has spoken out against the studio in the past. In 2019, he told Variety that he had 0 ownership of the movies. Really? Wow, I did not know that. I mentioned it a few times because after Rocky 2 came out and made a ton of money, and then Rocky 3 hit and made more than all of them, I said I like to have some ownership since I invented it. Which is true. Yeah, I'll get into that in a bit. And that never happened. He said at the time, Sylvester Stallone claims that the studio told him he was paid fairly. Whatever the case may be, Stallone will keep punching. Okay, and that's about it. Alright, Verse. So, my thoughts on the situation of Sylvester Stallone wanting the rights, or at least some of the rights, to Rocky. Now, I'm not a high producer. I'm not someone that works in a studio. I've never been in anything big like that. I'm just someone here on YouTube giving an opinion. But since it is my opinion and I have some things to back up my argument here. I'm going to. Should Sylvester Stallone own some of the rights to the franchise that he created, that he wrote, that he directed? Absolutely. It makes sense. I didn't know Sylvester Stallone didn't own anything when it came down to Rocky. Just because somebody gets paid doesn't mean that it's satisfaction to something that he created. If it comes down to a legal issue and it's something that you created, yeah, I do feel like it is fair for you to get some shares or some claim of what you made. You're the one that created it. You're the one that took it to a studio for them to make it. You know what I mean? And for this producer to have a stick up his ass and try to get all the money and all this and that for Rocky, for things that I'm pretty sure he didn't really do, it does seem pretty unfair. I can see why Sylvester Stallone, he's getting at that age where he's feeling tired. He might not be doing too much. I can see why he's feeling like this now. He's like, look, obviously out of everything that I've done, Rocky is like the best thing that I've ever done in my life, and I want my kids to have, you know, a piece of that because I created it, I extended it, I made something out of it. I want to pass it on to my blood. I totally get that. For those of you that don't know, when Sylvester Stallone made the script, because he did write it, he went to various studios to try to get it produced, and he did have one condition, that he would play the lead character of Rocky, and a lot of people turned him down. People were like, no, they didn't believe in his performance, they didn't like his look, and he got turned down a lot until finally he came across one studio. They were like, all right, we'll take a shot at it. We did it, and then look, he got an award. I think he was at the Oscars, right? He even met Muhammad Ali at one point, you know, on stage.
I don't know about anyone else, but I really feel it's a privilege to be here tonight, and I'm gonna try my best to. What? Can't you feel I'm working?
I'm the real Apollo Creed. You stole my script. You stole my script. Show what you can do.
Hell yeah, man, like that was awesome. Sylvester Stallone, man, like I'm telling you, he's an OG when it comes down to the entertainment industry. Like he knows his stuff. He's a craftsman for sure. He's gone head to head with Arnold, done variety of projects. Like even now, despite his age, he's still giving us a lot of good entertainment. Like, you know, it just feels so unfair that he doesn't have any credits to what he does. And yeah, he has produced a lot of the Rocky movies, by the way, produced and directed and written some of these movies as well. So for him to have not really get any shares, just because you get paid doesn't necessarily mean the same thing as you getting a share. Shares are worth a lot more than your pay. You know what I mean? Because you can still benefit from them. Whereas you getting paid, that's like a one-time thing, and then you gotta try to find work somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? Like it's different in the entertainment industry. And speaking of that, it is the entertainment industry. You know, that's the one thing that I hate about Hollywood, you know, going into this industry, is the fact that you are gonna come across certain people that act a certain way because they think they are a certain way when they're not. I understand that for me to be in my position as an actor, I've been told a lot of things. You can't say certain things, you can't do certain things, and there's times where I can't help but to be like, well, why not? Like if producers or higher up people think they can tell me what to do or do whatever the fuck they want, why can't I? You know, I'm the one that's making you money. You know what I mean? As a performer, I'm the one putting my face out there. I'm the one rehearsing the lines. I'm the one trying to make your movie be good. Depending on how it's made, of course. I've been told before that, oh, when it comes down to being in Hollywood, you know, you gotta be careful what you say, you know? I was told one time that, you know, never give anybody a handshake unless they give you a handshake. And I'm just like, what's wrong with that? I didn't understand that at first. I was like, so me trying to be polite is a bad thing? They have to be polite first? I didn't get that. I was like, what are you talking about? Another thing that I heard is that because everybody has certain opinions, you know, people easily get triggered nowadays. Anybody gets triggered nowadays for the dumbest things. I had somebody tell me one time, when you go to Hollywood, make sure you don't say anything, but make sure you also don't say anything. And I didn't get that. I was like, wait, what? Like, I can't say anything, but I cannot say anything. I didn't get that. My teacher told me, so when you're in Hollywood, right, try to stay off certain subjects. That's what I'm saying. Unless you're able to actually go forward with what it is that you're talking about, then by all means go for it. But when it comes down to certain subjects, be careful. But if you don't want to comment on anything, I wouldn't do that either. Like, you need to say something. And then when I heard that, I was like, okay, you lost me. I didn't understand a single word. So anybody got confused watching this, I totally get it. I remember I was looking at this person like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, so I can't say anything, but I have to comment on certain things, and I can't give anybody a handshake because it's considered rude. And I was told other things too, and I was like, no, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna try to meet as many people as possible. I'm gonna try to be professional, of course. But if something occurs and I feel like I have something to say, I'm going to say it. I'm not gonna let people assume that they can boss me around and tell me what to do. You know, everybody's their own individual. Everybody has their own way of seeing or viewing certain things, right? Like that's just how it is. And it does irritate me that, you know, seeing someone as high up as Sylvester Stallone still having to deal with certain things like that should tell you something. That's part of the reason why I personally don't want to live in LA. Like, obviously being an actor, you know, a lot of people tell you, well, go to Los Angeles. That's where the dream is at. You know, that's where you gotta go to take care of everything. No, it is not. No, it is not. I mean, that is where you can find work, but it's not the only place. It's really not, in my opinion. I don't necessarily agree with that. You know, Hollywood is very shady. A lot of people don't seem to understand that. There is a lot of good there, but it can be shady. Just so, you know, if anybody's trying to do something like that, you gotta be aware of stuff like that. Most importantly, be ready for stuff like that. But yeah, you know, I'm just telling you things that I've been told. I'm just telling you things that I've learned about, of course. I'm just letting you guys know, in case anybody's wondering, or if anybody has an interest in becoming a performer or producer or anything of the sort that has to do with filmmaking. And when it comes down to this matter, you know, it is sad that Sylvester Stallone has to go through this. I totally understand his situation. You obviously created something, you've seen it expand and become something big, and you want to pass it on to your own generation, yet you don't have any ownership of it. But then the other person that has ownership wants to pass it on to their generation, even though that person didn't really do anything. I totally understand the frustration here when it comes down to Sylvester Stallone. I do not blame him at all. And if you see the captions, the fact that on his social media page, if he had to call him out and even call out his kids and tell him that the stuff that his kids did was crap, oh my god, that's how frustrated Sylvester Stallone is. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about this situation, you know, or do you guys think Sylvester Stallone should get some of the rights? Do you guys think he shouldn't, that he made an agreement and he needs to just deal with it? You know, let me know. I'd be happy to hear about what you guys have to say about the situation, because I do think it is unfair what's going on with Sylvester. I do hope he's able to get something. It's not like he's asking for the whole thing, even though, my personal opinion, I feel like he should. He created it, he wrote it, he directed it, he produced it. He did a lot of stuff for Rocky, right? I mean, he is Rocky. So, you know, maybe that's just me. I don't know. But with that said, lovers, you guys like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification for more content as always. Look forward to the next verse news. And with that said, also look forward to more shorts and skits coming up. I'm trying to do more of that. I'm really having a fun time with it. So with that said, lovers, have an awesome day and look forward to more content coming up. Later, verse.